So it's become the case now that I see stories sometimes and I'm going, this is beyond parody, right? Like this is, if somebody were to script this, you would go, nah, too much. Too much. You're painting them, the Republicans, out to be perfect villains here. This is too evil. They wouldn't do this, right? But no, we are there now. The stories are beyond parody. So look at this. This is in Reuters. U.S. Justice Department disbands crypto enforcement team citing Trump order. The U.S. Justice Department is disbanding its national cryptocurrency enforcement team and ordering prosecutors to narrow crypto investigations to focus on drug cartels and terrorist groups, according to a memo sent by Reuters. Okay, I need you to understand what that means. It means all of those pump and dump scams that you see, all of these influencers who basically scam and steal from their people, the Hawk Tuah girl, for example, that's all legal. We're not going to look into the influencers. We're not going to look into the pump and dumps. We're going to go after drug cartels and terrorist groups. You know, that's not the biggest issue when it comes to crypto, right? Like, the thing is fucking worthless. It's totally speculative. And you got all these scams, and they're just like, sorry, we're not even going to look into it. Like, every day you learn. I learned the other day, Jason Derulo did a crypto scam on his own people. Like, what the... Jason Derulo, like the singer from like 2010? What the fuck are we talking about here? The memo from Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, sent out to employees late on Monday night, accused former Democratic President Joe Biden's administration of pursuing a reckless strategy of regulation by prosecution. Are you fucking kidding me? These people regularly take Joe Biden's wins and pretend like they're fails. The unit, known as NCET, and launched in February 2022 as part of the administration's bid to combat fraud and illicit finance, investigated and coordinated cases, including one against Binance and its founder, Changpeng Zhao, who pled guilty to violating laws designed to prevent money laundering. But under President Donald Trump, whose family is building its own crypto enterprise, wow, I wonder if that has something to do with it. The U.S. government has been reversing course on crypto. The Republican promised to make the United States the crypto capital of the planet. That's great. That's like saying we want this to be the scam capital of the planet. Well, congratulations, you succeeded. Going forward, Blanche said, the department will prioritize investigations into individuals who victimize digital asset investors or those who use digital assets in furtherance of criminal offenses such as terrorism, narcotics and human trafficking, organized crime, hacking, and cartel and gang financing. Any ongoing investigations inconsistent with this new policy should be closed. By the way, apropos of nothing, it wasn't that long ago that the Hawk Tuah girl came out and said, oh, we've been cleared. The scams aren't even subtle. They're not even subtle. They're not even subtle. And oh, would you look at that? The president, who launched a meme coin, a crypto scam meme coin 2 days before his inauguration and robbed from his own supporters, he's like, we don't need to police this market. This market's fine. So as Melanie Diarigo points out here, Trump's family owns and invests in crypto businesses. Trump launched his own meme coin. The crypto industry gave his campaign at least $119 million. Crypto CEOs chipped in $30 million more. Now his DOJ shut down the team investigating crypto fraud. This is what corruption looks like. So now let's throw it over to my boy here. This is CoffeeZilla. His whole YouTube channel is about, like, I'm the anti-scam guy. He finds out which influencers are scamming people, shaking down their supporters, doing some crypto bullshit, and he highlights it. He does these deep investigations. He's the one who called out Logan Paul and many others. And here he is struggling with a nihilistic moment because nothing seems to matter anymore, and crime is legal.
My ongoing slide into depression, the U.S. Justice Department just disbanded their cryptocurrency enforcement unit. At this point, guys, it's just us. We're the only ones out here calling this stuff out. The government itself does not care. It is funny. You know, I used to be more optimistic than on CoffeeZilla, it's part of the aesthetic is like this depressed detective. And I used to be slightly more optimistic. And then we got The Void. And slowly I have become maybe more jaded than I even show on CoffeeZilla. At this point, on CoffeeZilla, I'm trying to bring some light to it. I'm trying to bring it lighthearted. And I barely can. I am way more cynical and black-pilled than I've ever been in regards to the government, law enforcement. It's absurd. I mean...
Yeah, I mean, to his point, we truly are witnessing, like, the unraveling of society or the collapse of society in every way, right? Just when you look at the regular market, we have with the repeal of Glass-Steagall, they no longer separate commercial banking and investment banking, and everybody's over leveraged, and the whole economy is super financialized, and the market absolutely tanking, and prices going up for regular people, and 401ks being wiped out, and the social safety net being attacked, and endless wars on the menu. In every way, we're going down the wrong path, and you do get the sense that even as people, we've become more individualistic, more greedy. It's more dog eat dog. And now, like, the social taboo has almost been lifted when it comes to scams. So, like, if somebody gets scammed, people look at them like, oh, you're a sucker, you got, but that's on you. As opposed to, like, a healthy response is the person who did the scam should be in prison. Scamming is wrong, scamming is illegal, and we need to crack down on it. Now it feels like that taboo is gone, right? And so, yeah, like, what do you do when they're making everything worse in every policy realm? And just to get it back to baseline seems like climbing Mount Everest. It's a tough thing to come to terms with.
What are we exactly doing here? So the real memo here is that essentially, in light of the Trump presidency, they're going to cool off on a lot of their prior enforcements, specifically as it relates to virtual currency exchanges, mixing and tumbling services like Tornado Cash, and offline wallets. And they say this is to target instead the end users who actually do the crime. They say they're still going to focus on that. They're just gutting the enforcement team, which is a bit strange. I will say, though, how are you supposed to find the criminals if you don't enforce any actions on the tools that criminals use?
Welcome to Republican governance. And they've been like this my whole life. They're only more open about it now. But the classic move from a Republican administration is like, let's put as the head of the EPA an oil executive. And so they're familiar with all the regulations, the environmental regulations. But the reason they are is because they're used to evading those regulations. So let's take the criminals and put them in positions of regulatory authority. It's the oldest trick in the book. Like the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which Elon Musk absolutely destroyed. This is a government agency that returned tens of billions of dollars to Americans who were defrauded by financial institutions, ripping them off. And they're like, let's kill that, right? Trump wants to get rid of FEMA. So when there's a disaster, when a hurricane comes through and wipes everything out, or flood happens or whatever, and it does massive amounts of damage, he doesn't want the federal government involved at all. Well, the state government doesn't have the funds to fucking help people in a scenario like that. He just doesn't care. He doesn't want you to get any help. This is Republican governance, bro. This is what it is.
Like, one of the big problems in crypto is you can be completely anonymous and steal a bunch of money and then launder that money with these tools in the middle and then off-ramp it, and nobody knows, nobody's the wiser, right? So the part of the way this was addressed was you target the thing in the middle, which is Tornado Cash, for example. The problem is now we're saying we're not going to do that. We're not going to target any of the tools that criminals use. We're just going to target the criminals. But how are you supposed to target the criminals when you don't know where they are because of the tools, right? It's kind of this funny thing. But honestly, I hope that they are actually going to continue to target the people who do this stuff, the actual criminals. I just think it's doubtful, to be honest, because the DOJ says it won't pursue cases it feels are better left to financial regulators, which is, it's just incredibly loose language. And the problem is the financial regulators themselves have been gutted.
Republican governance. They have a way of just gutting all of the good government agencies that matter, the good regulatory agencies that matter, and then somehow pretending like this makes everything better, or acting like, no, we're still going to enforce it, but we're by gutting the funding and firing all the people and changing our priorities, we're still enforcing it, even though we're not. Like,
every day it seems that the SEC is dropping another case. So what financial regulators are we leaving cases to exactly?
Trump is friends with all the criminals too. All these crypto assholes, they gave him a tremendous amount of money. Like, so this is corruption. He's doing their bidding, and they are pro-scam.
Seems more like a just step back in general at large. I hope that's not true, but it does appear to be the case. I will also say it's notable that the person who wrote this was one of President Trump's former criminal defense attorneys. Now he's the deputy attorney general, so he sort of like flipped his roles. But this policy does seem to be more in the line of we're doing a lot less in crypto. We're going to kind of put our hands off and say that's the purview of the regulators, while the regulators also have their hands off. We kind of get this sense because of where they've actually put their key, people. So there's this guy, a prosecutor, Yoon Young Choi. He was one of the top guys who played a role in the department's most significant cryptocurrency cases, according to the Washington Post, including against the owners of Tornado Cash and the prosecution of Abraham Eisenberg. So this big shot, prosecutor of big crypto cases, where do they put him? Well, they move him to a newly created Sanctuary Cities division of the Justice Department. So we're reassigning people. We don't want them covering financial crime of cryptocurrency. Is that a convenient thing now that our government is also inextricably embedded in cryptocurrency as well? They have financial interest in cryptocurrency.
Trump wants to literally backstop the crypto market. He wants to take taxpayer money and backstop the crypto market, so make a reserve, so if it implodes and collapses, which it will because it's fake, the taxpayers have to bail out these crypto billionaires, these liars and cheaters and frauds. It's never been this bad, bro. It's never been this over.
I don't know. I can't say. All I can say is it's weird to call this stuff out. I will say that. It's kind of strange because it used to be we call this stuff out and it was sort of explicitly or implicitly illegal, or you had good reason to believe, this is probably bad. Now we're calling it out and it's like, is it actually, I don't know if it is. The joke is crime is legal, but what does that statement even mean?
He's right. He's right about all of it. This is where we are. They're just legalizing things that are obviously illegal. And it's because they're thinking, who's going to stop us? Who's going to stop us?
It's odd. And it has me beyond Blackfield. Like, there have been jokes on the Reddit, like, man, I feel bad for CoffeeZilla. He's watching everything become legal. But it's I can't tell you how weird it really is. I am forced to laugh about it because I don't know what I would do if I didn't. It's a bizarre thing. I don't even know what I'm doing here. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Sorry to kind of vent a little bit, but it is an interesting position we are in.
Yeah, you don't say. Dark times, bro. Dark times. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.